ladies and gentlemen, my name is Kurt, and welcome back to Far Lands or Bust. I had to wait a while for Wolfie to give the signal. There it is. Double signal. Whoops, I made too big of a doorway here. Let's get out. Let's make sure the coast is clear. But yes, we are back in Far Lands or Bust. This is episode... What episode is this? 283. So let us grab Wolfie. Yep. Drop off some extra inventory and head west. Going west to the Far Lands. In episode 283, today is Friday, August 16th, 2013. Got some skeleton residue. So let's keep going towards the Far Lands, indeed. If I may say, before we begin, well, we've already begun, but before we get down to the business, I don't know why, but I'm exhausted. Not from, obviously, walking to the Far Lands or whatever, but have any of you ever just felt tired for no reason? It's 11:30 a.m., and I am just wiped. I don't know why. I got like this yesterday as well. I just feel it in my face. My face is tired. I should stop lifting weights with my face. No, it's very strange. I don't know. Maybe I am coming down with something, or I don't know. It's just hard to do things when your body's like, no, just no. And like I said, it's mostly, I feel it in my face. Like I slept like 8 hours. I don't know what it is, but we will soldier on. We have Far Lands to be getting somewhat closer to, and money to be raised for Child's Play charity. Check that segue out. Over at farlandsorbust.com, we've been raising money for Child's Play charity. This season, season 4 of Far Lands or Bust, we're trying to reach $100,000. And we're getting up there. We are up to $41,725 raised this season so far, going straight to Child's Play charity. It's all from you guys. I do appreciate it. Helping get toys, books, games to kids in hospitals around the world. That's what Child's Play charity does. Great cause, as I often say. And with your donations, you can leave a little comment and a question, giving me things to answer and talk about here in Far Lands or Bust. Ooh, a wall. Tear down this wall. So yeah, that's great. I do appreciate it. I do appreciate all the questions and just the continued enthusiasm and hopefully it. This is ill-advised, but I think I'm going to try this. Wolfie, don't do what that one UHC wolf did. No, careful, Wolfie. All right, this is a terrible idea. Let's not do this. Let's come back this way. Oop. Yes, okay, let's just be reasonable. We're making poor decisions because our face is tired. So let's just make some good decisions and come down here like a normal human being and walk across the ground. But yeah, Child's Play charity, farlandsorbust.com, donate, and when we do reach that $100,000 is when I will finally press F3 to give us the updated coordinates for how far we have walked compared to the end of last season when we pressed F3 was at 699,492 blocks from spawn. And I totally forgot! You guys remind me on Twitter mostly that 1 year ago was the last flob-athon. That was the end of season 3, I guess you could call it. Was August 10th, 11th, and 12th, and like I said, today is the 16th, so I missed the anniversary of flob-athon 2012, where we doubled our money, thus securing the fact that I would attend Minecon Paris, albeit nervously. That is what we raised money during the flob-athon for. We had 24 hours of Far Lands or Bust played straight through for 8 hours a day-ish. Got a little bit longer on certain days. We had Speedy Cam, guests, everybody from the Mindcrack server. We had Gavin from Slow Mo Guys and Rooster Teeth. We had Notch show up in the chat on Twitch, which was very cool. and a whole bunch of other happenings. And of course, on the 12th, we lost Wolfie because of a glitch. The old you cannot be in the same block at the same time glitch that, for whatever reason, got rid of Wolfie, and tragedy indeed. But at the beginning of this season, we got him back. We went back in time to get Wolfie, and he is still with us. Some 100 episodes later, after we lost him. So, indeed. Good times there. All right, let's get some energy. Let's slap ourselves in the face and continue on. I know back at the beginning of July, I mentioned how I was having internet problems. I have Comcast. Every time I mention that I have Comcast, people say, well, why don't you just get another company? Can't. No other company. They have a monopoly in the municipality in which I live. It's Comcast or nothing. Or like dial-up. It's really like the only other option. DSL, technically. But in this day and age, that's as good as dial-up. So Comcast is my only option. But for a while, that got resolved. I was having problems getting videos up. That got resolved, and I was actually getting moderately the speeds I was paying for. And I was like, woo, 3 videos a day, every day, for like a week. That lasted about that week, and I was back down to like my 2 megabits per second and 2 down, 2 up or whatever, when I should be getting like 30 down, like 10 up. Well, maybe more like 5 up, but sometimes I get 10 up. But yeah, went back down. If I look back at the charts, the youtube.com/#my_speed, you can look at your speed, your playback history on YouTube. That doesn't necessarily reflect your overall. My face is just like numb. My overall your overall internet speed, but at least your connection, your playback connection to YouTube. That graph from the peak in late July has slid quite dramatically back down to substandard levels. Up until this week, the last few days, I've just been losing the internet. Just, it's done. No more internet. You're done. Just like shut down. So I don't know what that's about. Very much problematic. And speaking of problems, one of the funny things is when I did get my internet back, you can go to the Comcast, thank you, I don't need any seeds. You can go to the Comcast website and check for outages. And I did that, logged in just to see, and the only thing it said next to my internet status and TV cable status was, "There is a problem," in red letters and a little exclamation point. That's all it said. There was no explanation, nothing, just said, "There is a problem." And it reminded me of the Venture Brothers, the problem light on the space station. Yeah, that's pretty much what it was. The problem light was on. We don't know what or when or if anybody's even fixing it or what to do about it, but there's a problem. Just letting you know. It's like, thank you. I noticed that every 15 minutes my modem was getting disconnected. That seems like a problem enough to me. But that's very silly. Oh, Comcast. So I've got that to deal with, so if there have been, this week in particular, lulls in videos, I do apologize. That combined with my tired face has not been good for my productivity. Also, I've been reading articles where Comcast is in certain markets testing a new... That scared me. That sounded like a fire alarm. I thought my fire alarm was going off in my hallway or something. Silly sheep. Fire sheep. They're testing bandwidth caps. They previously had a bandwidth cap of 250 gigabytes that they have since suspended, and I very regularly go well beyond that. But they're now testing bandwidth caps in different markets, so I'm sure I have that to look forward to when they roll that out. They're being very generous. From 250 gigabytes to 300 gigabytes they're putting the bandwidth cap at, and they're not like, careful Wolfie, they're not like shutting you down, or they're not testing like shutting you down after reaching the bandwidth cap. They're just going to charge you for every 50 gigabytes over. They'll charge you an additional $10. It's terrible silliness. And it's even. I mean, it's not like it's expensive for them. It's actually the cheapest it has ever been for content, or not, I'm sorry, for ISPs to deliver bandwidth to residents. It's the cheapest it's ever been, yet now they decide, well, let's roll out some additional money grabs, and no one will be any the wiser. So anyway, rant over, end tag / rant. Let's get on to some questions when we wake up in the morning. And Comcastards. Indeed. Right, Wolfie? Well, the chicken agrees. So let's continue on. I got a good question, actually, in one of the rare times I checked my YouTube inbox, which, by the way, still has 500 new messages and counting, so might have to just call, I think I probably already have called, excuse me, I'm kind of running low on coal. Perhaps I should get some coal. Called bankruptcy. Yes, one coal. That'll do. Just fine and dandy. Thank you. Boop, beep. Bankruptcy. Filing for bankruptcy on my YouTube inbox. I think Zisto said the same thing. He has like 1,000 messages, and he's just like, does it matter? Not checking that ever again. So yeah, that probably is the best way to get in contact with old KurtJMac, but it's there, and I check it at random intervals, and this one caught my eye, and it was indeed a question, and it was indeed an interesting question, something I had yet to be asked, and something I really hadn't checked on myself. But from the exception asked, Kurt, what are the age demographics for your channel? Which is something, I suppose, for my own marketing sake, I suppose you can call it. I should know, but I suppose I rarely check. Yes, that's what you do. So I had to go into my YouTube analytics to check out what my age and other demographics, and I have some figures here, and I'm pretty sure this is somewhat standard across the board for your gaming channel, perhaps as run by a male commentator. I think probably has some of an influence on it, because I know some people like LD Shadow Lady is a gaming channel, but she has a much higher, I think she has about 50% female viewers. So there's a big, asterisk next to whenever I say, oh, this is probably standard for a gaming channel. But here my demographics are 12% female as opposed to that, so 88% male. And 25% of all of the... Oh, I'm wondering what this is. Is this based on subscribers or just viewers? Whoop, excuse me. I should have checked that. It might be viewers. I'm not sure that they give the demographics of just subscribers. But anyway, 25% total, male and female, are between 13 and 17 years old. And then pretty fairly evenly, they do basically... I wish they evenly spaced it, because that's not really a very, I suppose, consistent way, 13 to 17. That's 4 years, and then the rest are like 10 years. Yeah, it's 18 to 24, then 25 to 34, 35 to 44, 45 to 55. Each of those additional 10-year segments are about 12% each. And then it falls off after that to much lower percentages. But that's pretty much the age demographics, which is... I know that, but it's still a little bit surprising how young, I suppose, a lot of you are. And I know, to say a 13-year-old, a 17-year-old seems very old. Not very old, but old and mature. But believe me, still young, still very young. And I suppose the most... in-my-face realization of that was indeed Minecon Paris when I did meet all of you, and I'm like, oh my gosh, you're all babies. No offense, please. I'm not saying bad things there, but I suppose it's just taken aback. It's hard not to think when myself and my friends, the other people who make YouTube videos, people on the Mindcrack server are indeed in at least our late 20s, early 30s, some spread beyond that, of course. But it's hard to not just assume that all of the viewers and all of the subscribers are exactly the same thing, because me myself, I'm 31 and I watch a bunch of videos and subscribe to things, so I'm like, oh, everybody must be in the same demographic. But no, Kurt, that is poor marketing, a trap to fall into, to think that you are your target demographic, because you are not. Get wise, my friend. So yeah, there's that. I think hopefully my content is age appropriate. Well, definitely, since there's that 25%. The largest demographic is 13 to 17. I assume that whatever I'm doing is doing well for that group, because that's the majority there. But I do like that there's an even spread. It's not like 50% that and 1 or 2% for the rest. I like that the remaining, between ages 18 to 55 in those decades, it's an equal spread among those decades. And of course, this is all dependent on the fact that whoever's viewing watches when they're logged in, and whatever demographic personal info they've given to YouTube is actually accurate, because I know it's probably negligible, the spread of people who might say, oh, I'm 99 years old, to make up something on their profile. So there's that. But I suppose not even really related to age. I did indeed then look at the demographics as far as where the most views come from. Obviously, the United States is by far a huge viewership from there, which is why we YouTubers often schedule things for prime time United States time as opposed to other time zones. And then in second is the UK, and then Canada, and then Australia. That was surprising, Australia. So we do have folks on the other hemisphere who are in fourth place as far as views go. And then Germany being last, which is a little bit surprising as well, because I know it's actually quite difficult. There are some issues in Germany with YouTube and internet video that make things a little bit more restrictive as far as the way they treat copyrights and certain things like that. So, surprising, sort of, but not really. So that's the way my demographics kind of drill down. So I do appreciate that question, and lucky you. And the one time I checked my YouTube inbox, I saw your question on top. The exceptions. So thanks for that, and perhaps I should probably pay attention to that a little bit more, and maybe I'm not going to change what I'm doing or drastically start being somebody different just because I'm starting to realize that it's a younger audience, but I do hope. A lot of people say I should be a teacher or something based on like the astronomy videos I make and educational aspects. Oh, that's lava. Let's go this way. I'm not. That certainly was never my goal. I'm not trying to be an inspiration or an impressionable person upon the younger generations, but I don't know. Maybe a little bit here and there can't hurt. So I do appreciate you guys at least sticking around and dealing with my tired old face. So yeah. From TerraForest, who... Yeah, it's TerraForest, right? Yeah. She made a very funny on DeviantArt. I retweeted it. It's also been elsewhere on the internet. A very funny fan art of myself running into Vex on the Mindcrack server in my last Mindcrack episode. A very funny little cartoon from TerraForest. So yeah, that was pretty funny. But she actually donated to Child's Play charity and asked a question. She said, you mentioned on your DeviantArt that you were planning on posting some of your drawings and artwork from college. Is this something that you still might happen? Is this something that still might happen in the future on my DeviantArt? KurtJMac is my DeviantArt, obviously. And I've basically just been posting like that panoramic I took back at Castle Rock. I posted that to my DeviantArt. Some other Farlands bus panoramas, and even some real-life panoramas, like when I was at Arizona for, I was at Kit Peak for the Transit of Venus. I made a panorama. I've got a couple others up there. Not that too much, not too much stuff. I don't know. I don't know if that's still planned. I should probably update that. I forgot where I wrote that, in the bio or in the, like, introductory journal or something like that, but, I don't know. In getting this new backup drive and looking through my documents to try to pare down things just so I can save space with backups and not, you know, I don't need multiples of certain files and things like that. I looked at a lot of my old school artwork and things, and it really doesn't reflect me as I am right now. You know, it doesn't... that was a different person, say 10 years ago, who made those things, so I don't know that it would really apply too well. I still think, you know, I did photography and digital art and things like that. You know, it's still interesting and they looked all right. You know, it's not bad or anything like that, but it's just a different person made those things, so I don't know that that really applies. Maybe, I don't know. I still do have a lot of those. Some of the stuff I deleted because they ended up getting corrupted over the years and things like that, the files, but who knows? I don't know. I can't say yes or no, but I do appreciate the donation, and of course your artwork. It made me laugh indeed. The social anxiety thing. So yeah. Thank you very much, Terra Forest. Let's go to sleep and answer. So let's get some of these questions out of the way in the morning. And deviant artness. Woof. Indeedness. Let's see, from red_dragons with a Z at the end. In real life, would you ever get a dog and name it Wolfie? I've answered this question before, and I've said I am kind of not really a dog person or a pet person in general, probably simply because I was raised that way. My family, nobody really in my family has animals, aunts, uncles. Obviously, as a family, we never had a dog or a cat or anything because my mom and sister have very acute asthma and they would die from the dander. So, and yes, I know there are hypoallergenic dogs or whatever, but no. On top of the fact that just not animal people in my family. So there's that. So it's probably just a lot of how I was raised, not around animals and things, that I really don't plan on it ever. Like I said, if I would, I really like the way the Australian cattle dogs are really cool looking and seem like they would be a nice, robust dog to have, but I don't currently live anywhere with a yard. I think that would be a requirement for an active dog, and I don't know, they just seem, I'm a very simple person. I'm trying to be a very simple person, and it just seems to me, personally, for myself, for other people, they may be the light of your life. That's fine, that's great, have a good time, enjoy your pets, but for me, it just seems like a waste of energy, like a waste, like would not be providing me with any quality of life above and beyond what I really require. So that's just the way I suppose I was raised and the way that my brain works now. So my brain, blame my brain. Blame it on the brain. Oh, so many things that could be made out of that song. All right, so yeah, thanks for that question. From, oh, this is, how do you say BM manager? B-Man Gamer. If you could add one thing to Minecraft, what would it be? What would it be? I would say some sort of flight mechanism. I still feel like they need to do something with the dragon, particularly the dragon egg. It seems like they had, you know, like, oh, you get the dragon egg. I would assume that then you get to hatch a dragon, and then that is your tamed dragon that you can fly around. And there are mods that actually do that. Oh, hold on, I should chop down some trees. Whoop, or I should just jump in the water, maybe. Yeah, there are mods that allow you to do that. So like the dragon obviously would be an option, or like they have in Cube World, like some sort of glider. Glider? How did I said that weird? Some sort of glidey type flight thing. And I know there's also airplane mods and things. I don't know that engines and airplanes are really things that the game needs. It's a very... I remember Notch saying early on that Minecraft is very... I guess what you could call primitive in terms of, you know, I've got an axe here and things made out of wood. I suppose diamond doesn't count, but, you know, bow and arrow and, you know, there's not guns, there's not, you know, unless you do, again, mods and things like that, there's not... Oh no! My workbench! Oh dear. That workbench is gone. Workbench is gone, everybody. Let's see if I can, shed some light on this situation. Nope. Oh, did I pick it up? Oh, those are the torches I'm picking up. Wow, that workbench is indeed gone. Alright, that's a shame. Well, we lost the workbench today. We've lost a few workbenches. There it is, got it. We've lost a few workbenches in the past, so this really doesn't hold too much significance, but, conserve the wood, I suppose, as I make another boat that I'm just gonna break. That makes sense. So what was I saying? Yeah, some sort of flight thing. And like I said, Notch has said he's not developing, obviously, Minecraft anymore, and since then there have been somewhat mechanical things like hoppers and dispensers and things that are not quite keeping with the medieval kind of theme, but, so I don't think, like, powered flight or anything like that. Maybe gliders, you know, some sort of other mode of transport would be interesting, but I don't know. I am not the one who makes those decisions. Let's keep going down the list. Let's keep boating. First of all, oop, Wolfie, spawn right there. Woof! Oh no! Whoops, I hope there hasn't been an echo, but my speakers were on. Whoops! Let's see. Speaking of games and thing, Buzzwell LP asks, I was wondering what kind of games you prefer to play, genre-wise. Did I already ask? I think I already answered this question. Well, I know I've answered both of these questions. What kind of games do you like to play genre-wise? And also, do you speak any foreign languages? I've told the Spanish class story like 6,000 times, so look in the history for that one. And genres, I swear I just recently answered this. Adventure, exploration, racing, obviously, games, flight games, creative, sandboxy games, stuff like that. Those are the genres I enjoy. Indeed. Next question, but thank you. If I didn't answer that before, thank you, Buzzwell LP, for that question and donation. From an anonymous donator, has a computer game ever made you cry? And if so, which game? No. No, not really. I kind of anticipated what was going to happen in Shadow of the Colossus. I never finished Final Fantasy VII. I never even, you know, it's like a 6-disc thing on the PlayStation. I never got past the first disc because that was about the time I realized that I don't like turn-based fighting games. Or RPG type games like that. Woof. Trying to think. No, I don't think I've ever cried to a video game. Sorry. Maybe I'm not playing the right kind of games, but if they're not in those genres I previously mentioned, then probably not. I've gotten scared by games. I mentioned the first game that actually like made me jump and drop the controller was the first Tomb Raider when a wolf jumped out at me from the corner of a hallway or whatever. Which was hilarious. But never actually cried at a game. Indeed. All these little short boating trips. Give me something better to do. Boop. Let's see. Chris M. asked, Minecraft has a very diverse range of items and equipment available. What do you personally think would make a good addition to the game that's not already a feature? He says, oh, this is why I got this one, even though it's the same question that I already answered about what you add to Minecraft. He said, perhaps a segue to help you in your mission to the Farlands. And segue, not as in the technique for changing from one topic to the next, but the actual segue, the wheeled transportation device. Yeah, that would be funny. But actually, yeah, like I said, probably a flight thing, a glidey thing, perhaps. I don't know. But that pretty much is how that cookie crumbles. And how about a slightly different topic from Anne in Germany? Were you one of the people who always stayed calm before taking exams, or did you freak out and not be able to sleep and so on and so on? I, for a while, maybe a little bit was, but I eventually realized that I don't want to sound like I was the type of person who coasted through exams and things. I didn't do excellent, but I found that no amount of studying or freaking out really helped in one way or the other. So, especially later in college, I just decided to pay attention very well in class and take very good notes. And if I didn't learn a thing during lecture or during taking notes, then I wasn't going to learn a thing. So I really didn't study, is what I don't, of course I was an art major too, so there isn't many exams, it's more doing and making things for art than it is studying. And those things I would freak out when something was due and I didn't have enough time and I was staying up really late, and this might be a spawner. Or not. Oh, it's just oh gosh, no, let's get out of there. That is actually just a cave-in. It's like a 404 hole. So, not really. I eventually became at peace with the whole exam thing and just decided, you know what? I feel like, at least in my personal philosophy, that school shouldn't just be about memorization and fact regurgitation. I should actually learn these things, and if I don't learn and remember these things in class, then it's not worth learning and not really worth proving that I can regurgitate it at a test. So that's kind of the approach I took to those type of classes, which is probably why I failed pretty hard in math, because math, I think, probably needs a little bit more practice and studying outside the classroom. But regardless, got through quite a few questions today, quite a few gaming and Minecraft related questions, so I look forward to more in the next episode, where we continue raising money for Child's Play charity, and that's happening over at farlandsrobust.com on the homepage. A little chip in, not chip in, but the official Child's Play charity donation widget. Going to help get toys, books, and games to kids in hospitals around the world. I do appreciate it, no matter what demographic you belong to. Indeed. Indeed. So thanks so much for watching. I appreciate all your support, both for this channel and for Child's Play charity, and those likes always help, and such things as those. Indeed. How many more times can I say indeed? Let's go to sleep before, the sun starts rising again. And I will see you in the next Farlands or Busts. My name is Kurt. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you next time.